So, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining the webinar series on community conserved areas in South Asia. This is the sixth in the series, and now we are moving on to Nepal and the beautiful Himalayan landscape. And before I let the speakers take the stage, I would like to go through a couple of rules or just a guideline to be part of this. Um, so, um, just, so please mute yourself and switch off your video when the speakers are presenting, because we would want to hear this and give the presenters some space so that we can hear them properly. And if you have any questions, please ask in the chat box, and we will address that during the question answer session, which happens after the presenters and speakers have presented whatever they have to. This session is being recorded and is also being broadcasted live. It will be put up on YouTube for larger dissemination. For any queries, suggestions, and to subscribe to the CCA South Asia list, please write to ICCA South Asia. Now, I would like to call upon Sudeep, who I had the privilege of meeting last year during the South Asia regional meeting and the General Assembly. And he's the council member of ICCA consortium and is particularly involved with South Asia related activities. And he has been also recently elected as the secretary of ICC consortium, and he is affiliated with Forest Action. So, Sudeep, over to you.
Thank you, Shruti. Thanks for that warm welcome and introduction. So I'm just going to quickly give you a kind of a overview, sort of outline of today's event. So our first speaker is Jailab. So Jailab will basically set the scene, to provide the broader context for the case study today. So he's going to present for 10 minutes. And then we'll then hand over to Tenzing Tashi. And then Tenzing Tashi will sort of spend around 20 to half an hour, basically talking about his stories from Khumbu, and hopefully he'll take us to a journey to his territory of life in Khumbu, virtually, I guess. And then after half an hour presentation, then we'll sort of open up and where all the participants can then sort of engage in the Q&A, so they can ask questions. So we've sort of allocated around 40 to 45 minutes. So that's basically a rough plan for today. And yeah, so basically to introduce Jailab, Jailab is a good friend of mine. He's a lecturer with the Department of Anthropology at Tribhuvan University in Nepal. He's also a national coordinator for the ICCA consortium, and he's been playing a really vital and central role at advancing the work on territories of life in Nepal, and more so in terms of documentation and very much networking among local communities and indigenous peoples in Nepal. So without further ado, so I'll sort of hand over to Jailab to give us a short context to today's case study. Thanks.
Thank you, Sudeep. Thank you, Shruti, and the entire team who are technically organizing this webinar. Thank you and namaste to everyone. And also personally would like to say warm welcome to this series. So I will talk about a few points just to set a light how, so we are at this stage on behalf of Nepal and also from the whole entire South Asia region, ICCA Coordination Committee and also ICCA Consortium. So I'll be talking about 6 points in a very brief to introduce the context of the today's presentations, Tenzing Tashi Sherpa Dai's presentations. So shall we move to the next, Shruti? So I'll be talking about 6 points. The first, I will talk about certainly what ICCC is, because some of us today in this webinar may be new for the term ICCA. And next, I will introduce the ICCC consortium, under which we are now the member and joint for our movements. Thirdly, I will talk about the ICCA Regional Coordination Committee. Fourthly, I will talk about certainly Nepal, introduce the Nepal to shed a light of how ICCs are there in Nepal. And fifthly, I'll talk about the basic situation of the ICCs in Nepal. And finally, some of the efforts that we, Sudeep and me and all the entire team, including the Tenzing Tashi, the today's presenter, have done over the last decades for the advancement of ICCs. So the first one, Shruti, let's move to the next one. Next slide. Yeah. So ICCA, the term ICCA, it's an abbreviation for the territories and areas governed, managed, and conserved by indigenous peoples and local communities. This means the areas, the territories which are governed, managed, conserved, those kinds of territories we call the ICCA. Next one. And it has three defining characteristics, as we all agreed in terms of the studies, findings, and our advocacies. These are the communities, the territories, which has a strong bond between the community and the entire territories. This is first characteristics of the ICCA. The second one is those territories which have the de facto capacity to take decisions or enforce the rules in the entire territory. So this is the second characteristics. And third characteristics is those territories which decisions and rules are positive for the conservation of natures as well as the livelihood and well-being of the entire community. So these three basic, the territories having these three basic characteristics are known as the called or known as the ICCs. Next one, Shruti. So talking about, based on this, the three characteristics that I talked about, mentioned in the previous slides, there are three types of ICCs globally. The first is the defined ICCs, which means the territories, the areas which have all these three characteristics features. And second one is the disrupted ICCs, which have these kinds of characteristics, three kinds of characteristics in the past, but at present, because of many reasons, these are disrupted. These features are disrupted. So this is second types of ICCs. And third is the desired ICCs. This means the communities, the territories, which are potential to develop for the three characteristics that I mentioned in the previous slides. So these are the three basic types of the ICCs. So who supports, yes, please, who support those kinds of ICCs globally is the ICCA consortium. So ICCA consortium is a kind of global associations, member-based associations, which is established in 2010 legally under the Swiss law. And its establishments, it's rooted from the movements that promote equity in conservations for the ICCs or the territory of life. Next, Shruti. So its missions, the mission of the ICCA consortium is to promote the appropriate recognitions of ICCs, that means territory of life, and appropriate support to them. And the ICCA consortium has two types of members. The first is the organizations or federations of indigenous people and local communities, or NGOs, who directly support these kinds of communities. Until now, about 150 organizations, federations across the world are the members of the ICCA consortium. And the next types of members is honorary members, the individuals who are committed and inspiring individuals with the relevant capacities to and concerns about the features, the communities, the territories that I mentioned in the previous slides. About 350 individuals across the world are the members, honorary members of the ICC consortium. I mean, they are already associated as an honorary member of the ICC consortium. The next one, Shruti. So ICC consortium basically supports in 3 areas. One is the documentation and mapping of the ICCs across the world. Second is the empowering of and defending the ICCs through legal and policy supports. And third is the enriching ICCs that includes support in ecological restorations, governance and management planning, livelihood enhancement, self-strengthening processes, reflection, capacity and skill enhancement training programs, among many others. Next, Shruti. Yeah. So on top of this, the whole entire ICC consortium's activities across the world, the last year in Rajasthan, India, in 2019, I mean, the regional assembly was held where we 6 participants from Nepal also got opportunity to participate in this regional assembly. The assembly decided finally a week-long gathering decided to form a loose network, South Asia Regional Coordination Committee, and that committee it's established, or means the assembly decided to establish this loose regional coordination committee to outreach the ICCA issues, networking of the ICCAs, documentation and mapping of knowledge generations, livelihood supports, capacity building, advocacy of the legal supports, accent visits of the all ICCAs territories of life in South Asia. And today's webinar is one of the part of this, the decisions and the activities. Next, Shruti. So this webinar, I mean, we are in the 6th webinar. The 6th webinar is set for Nepal. And this webinar is aimed to cover the stories of ICCs from India, Nepal, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Maldives, and other South Asian countries. And this webinar covers the ecosystems like wetlands, grassland, high altitude mountains, forests, marine, coastal areas, and so on. And it is technically coordinated and organized by the South Asia Regional Coordination Committee, and which is the part of ICC consortium. Next, Shruti. So I take you to the country Nepal. So briefly, I think all of us, those who are participating in today's webinar, may know about what Nepal is, how Nepal is. So in brief, to be brief, Nepal is one of the very rich in ecological diversity, species diversities, cultural diversities. That means having a diversity means there are diverse forms of ICCs in Nepal in terms of geography, in terms of culture, in terms of beliefs, in terms of practices, and so many things. So we claim that Nepal is one of the rich in the existence of the ICCs in the world. So this diversity shows that Nepal do have different forms of, different types of, different kinds of ICCs in different parts of the country. Shall I move to the next? So having said that, Nepal is a diverse, rich in terms of ecology, culture, and the species. There is a kind of context in terms of the conservation status. For example, in Nepal, the first protected area declared in late 1960s increased very rapidly over the years and decades, which reached up to 23.23% of the total land areas, which are formally declared protected areas. So of them, very important thing is, outside of these formally designated protected areas, there are a lot of areas, territories, communities who are conserving, who are managing their territories in terms of conservation, in terms of their livelihood. So we claim that many of the areas, even outside the protected areas, are ICCs, which are managed by indigenous peoples and local communities. But the problem is still the national policies have not well recognized those territories, those practices, those territories of the indigenous people and local communities per se, from the perspective of the ICCs that we are advocating from globally. Shall we move to the next, Shruti? So these features of the ICCs, the diversities in terms of ecology, culture, species, there may be different forms of ICC in Nepal. For example, many of the areas are managed as a wetlands, many are as community forests, many of areas are as religious forest, many of them are as landscape connectivities, Ramsar, Simsar, sacred landscapes, BUs, grazing lands, rangelands, buffer zones. So these are different types of the ICCs may exist in Nepal. In terms of locations, many of the ICCs are in the high mountains, some are in hills, and some are in flatlands. And in terms of their locations, many of ICCs are inside the formally designated protected areas, and many of them may be outside of these formally designated protected areas. And also in terms of size, some territories, some areas are bigger in their size, some are medium, and some are very small territories the communities are managing. So these are the types of the forms of ICCs may exist in different parts of the country. So there are some initiatives that Sudip already mentioned in the beginning. Sudip, me, Tenzing Tashi, Dai, and many other ICC leaders, we have done a lot of things in terms of the advocacy, in terms of the policy recognitions of the ICCs. For example, some of the preliminaries, we begin with the preliminary studies of the ICCs, and then documentations, then their policy dialogue based on those studies, documentations, policy advocacies, national gatherings, and then finally we become able to form ICC Network Nepal. So we all, mostly the ICCs, those who claim ICC, are under the umbrella of ICC Network Nepal, and this Network Nepal is the member of ICC Consortium. Next. Similarly, we are also supporting to prepare the photo story of different communities. Until now, we have prepared photo story of two communities, the Khumbu ICCs in Dolpa district and Khumbu Valley ICCs in Gorkha districts. Similarly, we are also supporting, we are also doing ourselves the self-strengthening of the different ICCs, different communities. Similarly, presently we are in the process of documenting one of the ICC as an implementing ICC case, global implementing ICC case. It is the Khumbu Valley in Gorkha districts. So similarly, presently, we are trying our best to bring up the youths in the ICCA network, and also we are thinking to develop ICCA youth network. It's not happened yet, but we are thinking about another discussions for in this process. So these are some of the important initiatives that we have done over the last decades and a bit more years regarding the promotion, advancement of the ICCs. So these are the basic, the background context that I said for the Tenzing Tashi's presentations today. So you can find some of the relevant reports and documents, some photo stories, 2 photo stories in my presentation. So these are the links. You can see, you can read them and know more about the ICCs in Nepal. Thank you so much, Sudeep, for the time, whether I'm in time or not. Thank you so much to everyone.
All right. Thanks, Zailov, for really giving us kind of a multi-scalar sort of context from the global to regional and the context of Nepal. I think it really provides a bit of a nice background before we sort of begin the Sherpa story. Let me just share the screen. All right, so let me now introduce Tenzing Tashi Sherpa. He's a very dear friend of mine, although he's quite elder to me, but he's such a fantastic person that I've met, and was quite fortunate to also visit his territory of life in Khumbu, in the village of Khumjung, quite above 3,500 meters from the sea level. So yeah, so it was such a nice sort of memory. I think that it was like roughly a decade back that he invited some of the folks to his territory, and that was like really such a defining moment, and in terms of great learning and actually understanding how the culture and conservation actually coexist, in the context of indigenous territory. So I was quite fortunate to actually visit his village, his territory, back in 2009, I think. But we've been ever since that, we've been really actively sort of closely working together on a whole lot of other advocacy and documentation work on ICCs in Nepal. Tenzing Tashi Dai, he is a well-respected Sherpa community leader. He resides in the village of Khumbu, right on the foothills of a sacred mountain, Khumbu Valley. You'll hear more about those a little later. But he's been really, he has dedicated decades of his life working for community development, in fact, capturing some of the ecological, cultural knowledge, wisdom around conservation and culture in Khumbu. He has actually he's founded this amazing organization called Khumbu Sherpa Culture and Conservation Society that we'll get to hear more in his presentation. So yeah, so without further ado, could I request Tenzing Tashi Sherpa Dai to sort of take us to your territory of life, Kumjung and the Khumbu, the sacred Khumbu.
Okay, thanks, Sadiq. First of all, I will introduce myself. My name is Tenzing Tashi Sherpa. I'm from Khumjung, and Khumjung is the oldest Sherpa village in the Khumbu Valley, inside the Khumbu Valley. And I'm the present chairperson of the Khumbu Sherpa Culture Conservation Society, and I'm the member of Nepal ICCA Nepal. Okay, next. Okay, Sherpa or Sherwa is the people who live in the Khumbu Valley. We call, first of all, we used to call Khumbu, but now the Sherwa and Sherpa is the very famous, it became very famous, so we are saying the Sherwa. And the Khumbu is the, I'm introducing the Khumbu Bayul. So Khumbu Valley and Khumbu Bayul. And Khumbu Valley is above the Chauri Kharka Valley up, but Khumbu Bayul is above the Namche Bazar. So it goes to the Thame Valley first, and Thame Valley is called Botekoshi Valley also. And then Dudkoshi Valley, it goes up to Macharmo, Dole, Gokyo. And in middle is the Nada Valley goes up to the Khumbu Khola. So which is the Khola, Khumbu Khola is coming from the Everest glacier. And Nada Valley goes to the Imja Valley. So which is Imja Khola. So the Khumbu Khola is Tengbu, above the Tengboche, Tengboche, and then Pangboche, and then up to Feriche, Lobuche, and Gorashep, and Everest Base Camp up to. And then Imja Khola is, it goes to the Feriche, and then Dingboche, and continue goes up to the Chukung. And then there's the Imjatse. So that is the mountain called Iceland Peak. It is the trekking peak. It is very famous for the trekking, who does climbing trek. And Khumbu, inside the Khumbu Valley, Khumbu Bayol, there are many territories like which I told you about the villages name before. Namche, Thame, Pharak is the Chorikharka area, and Chorikharka area is it is a 1 day's have to walk from my village down, further down, and then from there is the airstrip, and from above the airstrip we call Chorikharka, and then Namche Bazaar, Thame, Khumjung, Khunde, and then which I told you name before. Among this name, this Khumjung in Khunde is the oldest village. So the oldest village, and here the village name is found by the I don't know which century is before. Well, I don't know, but the name is found by the Lama. So which is the Khumjung Khunde is the shape is like a horse shape, and then the head of the Khunde, head is in Khunde, and bottom the body of the horse is in Khumjung. So the Buddhist book says the head of the horse is facing to the Rolpaling Khando Rolpaling Bayul. So in the Rolpaling there is also Bayul. So that is we couldn't get any person from there, which is we could make the leader of the ICCA. But in the Rolpaling Bayul there is also many Bayuls in the ICCA area, and they have also the Nawa system, and they have many Gumba Natis, and everything is there. But the Rolpaling is the older than the Khumbu, according to the book says. And Khumbu Bayul is it is found by the Guru Padma Sambhava. So it is it says around 8th century before. The Guru Padma Sambhava gave his name, and he gave the itinerary. So how you go in Khumbu. So at that time, I don't know whether there's the people or not, but the Guru Padma Sambhava, he told in his book. So he have 3 different books. The one book is it says the all detail of the itinerary. So this you can go to Khumjung, Khumbu, Khumjung Khunde. His shape is like a horse, and if you go to the further Tashinga, the Tashinga shape is like a horse, sheep stomach hanging shape. And then if you look from that area, if you see the above the Tengboche, you can see this just like the horse shape back, horseback, right? I mean, like that. And then so if you see from the above that place, there is a Singma Tusum. So that means 3 cone of the flat place. So if you see from there, you can see the Myeolangsangma Everest. You can see the Tawoche, so the horseback shape mountain. So inner Tawoche and outer Tawoche. And then if you continue goes up to the Gokyo side, you can see the Gokyo Valley also and Chukung Valley also. You can see from there. So I don't know the inner outer Tawoche. I know, but the inner Tawoche I don't know where it is. So the okay, this is Khumbu Valley, and around here is all Kakshing forest and Khumjung and Kunde village. These are the all Kakshing village, Kakshing of the Sherpa. And here this is the mountains, and far behind Lhotse and Mount Everest. Tauche, and Island Peak behind. And in the middle here is Tengpoche, and all above there's Pangboche and Chukung and all behind. And below here, all Sherpa town, Namche Bazaar down here, and all the way down here is called Lower Village. And here up we can see the Kwangde, Himal, and all this is the Botekoshi Valley, all the way up. This is, we call it Thame Valley, and this is the Tengentasi and Parchamo, Khangchimbo, and Kwangde. And here the Kapsala and Kejo mountain behind, and Khumbu garden of and protector of the Khumbu. Yeah, thanks for the looking video. Well, I didn't. I mean, there was the windy, so I couldn't I couldn't give all name and things all. But sorry, at least you have seen the some few beautiful mountains. Well, okay, Khumbu Bayul, culture and conservation. Khumbu Bayul is the indigenous community concept area. So Bayul, itself, it is very sacred hidden area. So we call the Bayul is the hide by the god for the future for the people. So that means the inside the Bayul, there inside the Bayul, there are the many monasteries and many secret mountains, lakes, and many things. And inside there, it is not allowed to killing any animals and your own animals also, and not hunting and not poached and things sort of not any the life is not allowed to kill. And Khumbu was the wildlife of century of the I mean like birds and every things every lives. And this is the many centuries before. So this is not like it is not like the Rani Ban or Raja Ban or they sort of before we used to say the King's Forest or Queen Forest. It is not like that. So this is the under the Bayul. So this is the before the buffer zone. So and before this Sagarmatha National Park. So Sagarmatha National Park is started only in 1976 in Khumbu. So the Laminati. So we have here different type of among the ICCAs. So the example like the Jailab said. So we have here example like if we come up from Sudeep can remember also, and Ashish also can remember, and of course Stan. So when we come from Lukla on the trail, there we can find very big trees, very big trees. So we call Lumu Thungyuma. So this is we call Nagini. So very rich nag in that forest. So that is also the concept about, it says maybe more than 4,000 years the people used to say, but I don't know how many years the tree is. So it looks very old, of course. And so we have the many different type of uh, the ICCAs. So the example like the Gumba Nati is the conserved by the Gumba, and community conserved forest like Lapcha Nati. So Lapcha Nati is a praying location on the top of a hill. So we are praying on the top of the hill. When we are going out of from the village, we have to pray at that the Lapcha. So we in the Nepali we call Deurali. Well, so around the Deurali, it is not allowed to doing any harm things, chopping trees. Not it is not totally not allowed. Next, Suzy. So here this is the community catching and Lapcha Nati. So Lapcha Nati, this is the right hand side. The picture is the Devrali. So this is every Sherpa village. When you're crossing, when you going out, you can get the Lapcha like this. So you have to pray there, and you have. So the around this the shape like this stupa. So this around here is we have to pray, and this is not personal things. This is all community concept lapsa. So the left hand is the Khumjung and Kunde. So Khumjung, the around the Khumjung Kunde, the all the forest the is all the concept by the local Sherpa. So this is the Kakshing. So Kak means the stopped. Shing is the forest. Okay, this is not done by the not this is the not ruled by the government or no one. So this is many years before the Sherpa as a Sherpa culture. The Kakshing system is became. So the now for the Kakshing and national park is also supporting to the for that area, and of course the local villagers is very strictly looking after. And the Khumjung around the Khumjung Kunde village, the twin village. So around here this is not allowed to kill any of animal. And so even in this twin village, as our god, which is the Kumbila, don't like whether there is a the people if you have a pig or chicken, and Kumbila don't like these two different animals. So and also if you it is not allowed to eat chicken and pigs meat of the pork. But well, during the trekking season, we cannot stop chicken meat and pork meat. I don't know, but according to our religious system, so we don't eat ourselves. Okay, next. Okay. Role of Sherpa culture in nature conservation. So the according our religious, we call it dharma. So we do when we do the puja. So the puja and or the system is it helps very strongly for the conservation. So this we doing the nature puja worship we call Hachitu. So in the 1 year, in 4 months, we do one time puja. In spring, we call Yarchang. and autumn Tengentasi and Khumbu is the loss of time. So we do the worship again, and anyway the every season we do puja. So this is the puja is for the nature god. So the nature god. So the and the the Nawa also when the with the Nawa have their own authority what to do and what to do, how to rule and what to rule. So I will tell you later. But the Nawa have to do the worship time and they do big puja and the many people are gathering and then they all going around with the books and the Buddha statues and another god statues carrying every people and many people is going around the village. So this is so we do believe that the god can protect every bad things. Okay, and the Nawa the in Khumbu, well, this is not in Namche and Thame area. Not this is the Khumbu in the Khumbu Valley, but this is the different rule we have. And the Khumjung Kunde Porche Panguje Dingboje and Gokyo area we have a Nawa system, and we have a D zone also, and we have a the Nawa Shingi Nawa. There we have two different Nawa. Shingi Nawa, it protects forest, not to cut and not to chop any wood for the firewood and not for the timbers. And if you and among this forest, it is very strictly not allowed in the catching area, but in the D zone, the forest D zone, the Nawa can open and they can give some wood like a big timber for the building house. So they very limitedly they can give the like that, and it is not so any of anything. If urgently if you want anything, then you have to go to Nawa and have to ask Nawa. So Nawa means the authority. So you can ask Nawa, and also we can say who gave you the Nawa. So who gave you the authority? So that is the Shingi Nawa is the big authority for the wood forest Nawa, and Lotok Nawa has a more works and more authority for them, and they have to look after the chungmidi. So chungmidi is they have to look at the animal. So we have a rotation grazing area system in the Khumbu. So when the Nawa says, okay, the crop is all so ready to, they have to protect. So your animal, you have to take out from the Khumbu village. So you have to take the Kharka area, so pasture area. So in the pasture we have the grazing management system. We have Yarsa is monsoon Kharka, and Tensa is autumn, and Gunsa is winter when the animal get very cold, when starting snow, and the animal used to bring down Kharka, and like Tashinga in the Khumjung, and they have that system. And not only that, the Nawa says, okay, you have to take out your animal out. Then we all have to agree what the Nawa says. Nawa will give you the date. This date you have to take out this animal. So and when our crops are ready to harvest, and at that time the Nawa said, okay, now you can bring down your animal. So they like that, doing like that, and then they will bring the Yarsa, Tensa, and Gulsa. They slowly they will bring down. So we call Chumidi. That is Chumidi, and Lotokji is the okay. The Nawa will say the inside the which potato field. So the other unnecessary the grass, things like that, we call a yurma. So it is not allowed to take without Nawa give us Nawa until. So when the Nawa give us the Nawa, okay, you can take out the unnecessary grass. Then we can take out the all grass and things. We call it yurma, and that is under the Lotok D. And then the Tre is the grass harvesting. So the grass harvesting is Khumbu. Overall, Khumbu is the very cold area, and in the winter, if it snows, then the animal need a good grass store. So that's why we have to conserve the grass before, and then conserve, and then when the Nawa give us Nawa, okay, now you can cut the grass, and then we can cut the grass and harvest the grass and store for the winter. And then the Saluk D is from the forest. We have to collect the leaf, the tree leaf, which is for the compost. So in the winter, we put the leaves under the animal where they stay, animal hut, and then where the people stay, they can people can make a people toilet. We are using for the people toilet, and also we using the people toilet reusing. So this is also very good compost for the potato for next season. And so that's why we have the Soluk D also. So that is the all under the Shinginawa and Lotonawa. And buffer zone and the national park does help for the Nawa also. So when I was the chair of the buffer zone of the Khumbu in Khumjungkhunde area, so at that time we request national park to give something for the Nawa and help Nawa. So now the national park is continue helping. Well, they are recognizing us, helping us for the ICCA. And next. And inside the Khumbu, we have the secret lakes, like Imja Lake, Gocho Lake. There's a Panch Pokhri. Fifth, we have a fifth lake, and then the first lake we can ask for the Che is live, Sonam Che Sonam Pal Longju. So this sort of the luck you can ask from the different 5 lake, and so this is a very sacred lake. And this kind of lake is also Solo area also, and many the Gosaikunda area also. The lake, sacred lake, is also the other inside the Nepal also, and of course in Khumbu is very we respect them, and the Himal, the mountains. So we call Mount Myo-Langsangma is Everest. So the Myo-Langsangma is the Everest, and the Tawoche is Tagoche, the big horse head. And Myo-Langsangma has 5 sisters, and the Khumbu Yula is the god of valley, but his name is Jegel Tiche. So the Khumbu Illas, his his own name is Jagel Tiche, but not many people don't know what is the Jagel Tiche. But everybody says Khumbu Illa, Khumbu Illa. And the Jagel Tiche and the book says Khumbu Illa is like a colonel, example like the army. And then his lieutenant captain is around many, and Taboche, and Amadablam, and Tamsirku. The other all are the god of the Sherpas. And we Sherpa have many clan. So Poldurche, Taktokpa, Sharwa, Chusharwa, and many this kind of many Sherpas, the clan. And every clan, they have their own clan god. And we call Rula. So Rula, some god, the Tabuche is Chusharwa, and Argamche is Sharwa, and like that, every Sharwa has their own god, so which is their clan god. So that means it is very strongly we have to respect it. So every morning we have to put we have to burn the incense, and we have to pray for the god. So okay, during the day I have maybe we have done mistake things, so for that we are burning you the incense, and so it's very sorry, and we have to say sorry like that. So okay, next. Khumbu Sherpa Cultural Conservation Society is well, in 2008 we went to the Spain, and then I was talking about the forming the Khumbu Sherpa Cultural Conservation Society, and I talked with the Stan and my friends, other people, maybe with Sudip, I cannot remember. And when we came back from the Spain, and I thought the Khumbu Sherpa Cultural Conservation is very important to the conserve these things, and do write books, something for the future generation, and tell about the Nawa system, tell about the Ru clan system, and tell them about the how to conserve. Well, example like Lapsa Nati, maybe the young children they don't know what is the Lapsa Nati, what is the Lami Nati, what is the Gumba Nati. So that's why I was thinking that it is very important to make the Khumbu Sherpa Cultural Conservation Society, and so when we come up, and then we established this in 2010. And so this is a non-profit organization. So only pure indigenous members are involved. And the Khumbu Sherpa Cultural Conservation Society is doing sometimes we do the culture tour for the student, and we are taking them up to the Pangboche 2-3 days camp, and I'm telling them all, this is the Tengboche Nati, this is Deboche Nati, and this all the forest the Kakshing Nati. So we all have to respect the previous, the parents, these systems. We have to respect is, so we have to. And then the Gumba Nati, we took them around the Gumba, and inside the Gumba, the Lama gave us about the the lecture about the conservation and things. And Lama gave us give a talk about what is the Bayul, how far is Bayul from where is Bayul. So these sort of things is Lama given us. And then we after the student culture tour, and we're giving them the presentation also. And then the children are asking us the question by the written, and then we are giving them the answer. And then sometimes we do the examination also, and we do meeting also. And sometimes the elder and youth we're gathering and talking about the culture. Yeah, this is the Khumbu Sherpa Cultural Conservation Society. We took the student up to the trek, and then we wrote the book, and elder and youth are gathering. So this is not only the Khumbu area. This we down to the Chongri Kharka people. We did this Chongri Kharka people in the Chongri Kharka people, and we did this in Khumjung Khunde, and so this is the very good. Well, this is the very good program. I like that. All the younger people, they don't know. What I'm saying is my vision. What I'm saying is we are complaining to the young people. Oh, they don't follow the previous parents things. They are useless. We are seeing complaining like that. And the young said, oh, the older people, they doesn't teach us. Oh, the older people, they doesn't help us, and saying so. And so when we doing this gathering things, then you can ask openly the question, and we can give them or we can teach them. So this is good program. I like that. And for the Khumbu Sherpa Cultural Conservation Society, we got well. We are doing our best ourselves, but even though we got much support from the other country also, just like Paul K. Fairbairn Foundation, small grant, and World Pheasant Association, and altruistic OADC in Sagarmatha National Park, Baporjon. And next. Yeah, so the example like Paul K. Fairbairn Foundation, I wrote a book, one book, I wrote one about our Nawa System and things like that. And then from the Paul K. Fairbairn, we did a student tour, student presentation to the student group, giving all student gathering, and then a question from the student, and we are doing a good presentation for the student. And we did bird conservation things and so. And small grant program, we did many things, which is metal pole. So metal pole is for the prayer flag. Before the Sherpa people, we used to cut the big tree, long and big tree. So that is for the flag, prayer flag. And instead of the tree, we brought from Kathmandu metal pole. So the metal pole is for the conserving for the forest. and then signboard, and way to there and way to the, culturally area things, and trekking route also, of course, and the green roof. So green roof is for the well, eco-friendly color. So we put a green color for the all Khumjung and Khunde twin villages, all roof. And the green roof, it long last 11 years. So the 11 years, if you do this put this the roof color, then the roof can long last. So if the roof stays long last, then all the under of the timber under the roof can stay long last. So this is good, looks good also, and it affects good for the conserve forest also. And we did kerosene depot, but now the kerosene depot doesn't use much. So because we have a very good electric, and we have another the gas cylinder system came up. So the motor road is come very close. So gas is more cheaper than the kerosene. So the people, not much people is using the these things. And I wrote the Sherpa culture and ecological reflection book is for from the SGP fund, and yeah, the nature, the Sherpa culture in nature conservation, the role of Sherpa culture in nature conservation is from the Paul K. Fairbairn budget, and the other book is from the small grant program. And these are the the national park, the buffer zone is good, helping us to give author to doing some things. Example, like if we make a bird conservation area, we have to ask national park, and then well, it is difficultly we got the authority, but now it works very good. And now for the bird conservation area, the World Pheasant Association also helping us. They sent us some money for the continue protection. We have the fencing area, protecting area, protecting for the forest, and then we have a pond, drinking water for the birds, and so we all have to repair it, and so the bird bird conservation area, we got some money for that, and so the is and also we need the water pipeline for the to bring water there, and so this is the good for the World Pheasant Association, which recognize us. This is the big things, which is the ICCA. Inside the ICCA, the World Pheasant Association is also helping. And the left hand here we have the member, which is the ICCA Nepal network. We took a culture tour. So the Nima and we all I invite Jailab and Angbado and many others, but they couldn't come. But Gopal Gurung got sick himself, and so he couldn't come. And Man Bahadur and Vivek Sharma and other, and Nima Lama, and some lamas and the women group from the Khumjung women group, and youth some member from the youth group, and we took a tour up to the ICC area, and we gave them, well, we introduced them. Okay. Well, that's it. That is it. Sorry for my English is not very good, but thanks for you all, which is try to understand yourself.
All right. Thank
And
you.
also, if Sudeep wants to help me any things, and you can tell about the Khumbu. And I can see Nimalama. Also, he can also help me if he wants to say something about the Khumbu ICCA areas. So he know very well.
Thank you, Tenzing Tashi Dai. Really appreciate for sharing such a rich story about Khumbu territories of life. And it was really pleasing to see some sort of intergenerational initiatives as well going on. The elder and the youth kind of dynamic that you mentioned was pretty interesting to me, apart from other things. So we have a couple of questions now for you, Tenzing Dai.
Mm. Yes, please.
And I think some of these really important questions that you can respond to briefly. And there are some questions basically in terms of some clarity around Nawa system. So I can quickly translate those questions from the participants in Nepali, and you can then respond back to those questions in English. Is that all right?
Mm, I will try. Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
so I'm just going to ask some of these first round of questions to Tenzing Dai. सबैले के सोधिरहेको छु भने सरकारले चाहिँ तपाईँले अघि भन्नुभयो नि नावा सिस्टममा चाहिँ अलिकति तपाईँ बफर जोन हुँदाखेरि तपाईँले चाहिँ स्टार्ट गर्नुभयो अलिकति सगरमाथा नेसनल पार्कले पनि अलिकति हेल्प गर्न थाल्यो नावा सिस्टमहरूलाई भन्ने कुराहरू तर धेरैजनाको क्वेसन चाहिँ के छ भने गभर्नमेन्टले चाहिँ के कस्तो चाहिँ अरू सहयोग गरिरहेको छ हाम्रो खुम्बु आइसिसीहरूको लागि भन्ने एउटा प्रश्न छ अर्को भनेको चाहिँ अघि आशिषले पनि त्यो सोध्दै थिए तपाईँले भन्नुभयो नि त अलिकति नावाहरूलाई चाहिँ गभर्नमेन्टले सगरमाथा नेसनल पार्कले चाहिँ रेकग्नाइज गरेको छ हामीलाई सपोर्ट पनि गरिरहेछ तर त्यो भन्दैमा चाहिँ त्यो भनेको के खुम्बुको सबै आइसिसीहरूलाई चाहिँ अब सरकारले चाहिँ मान्यता दिएको हो रेकग्नाइज गरेको हो भनेर चाहिँ आशिषले त्यो सोधिरहेको छ अनि तेस्रो
अब त्यो चाहिँ म अहिले यसको जवाब दिन्छु नि well government doesn't help well because the national park they like to say this is under national park we have protected.
So it would be good to translate the questions you asked to Tenzing in English as well, because some of the participants may not understand Nepali. So if you translate the questions you asked to Tenzing into English, that will be good for the other listeners.
Well, I'm giving the answer for the Sudip, which is Ashish asked. So the first of all, we thought that the Khumbu Sherpa Cultural Conservation Society, we wrote the
Constitution.
Constitution. So about the Nawa Constitution, we wrote all Constitution and things, and later on we think that it is not good idea to register under the national park. This is the local thought, because the Nawa system is naturally it started from the long years beginning, and it long last itself for the long last. And if we register under the national park, and one day if the warden is not happy with the Nawa system, and they can dissolve it. So this is not a it doesn't stay long last. So that's why the Nawa constitution is not registered under the national park. But from the national park, they're giving us some money for the Nawas. So the which is the money is started from my time. So at that time, what I thought is, what I said is, this is not the salary for the Nawas. This is like a price for the Nawas. So if Nawa did a good job, then they can get the money. So this is only the price. So I said so, but now it become like a salary, and it is doing continue. But we have the many other things. Example like lapta, nati, and kek. Yeah, catching, they support us for the catching. So which is at my time, the national park, according to the national park rule, once they get permission to collecting wood from the forest, then they can collect everywhere, because the Khumbu is the national park area, so they can collect from anywhere. But what we said is, it is well, this is your authority, but the around our which is our Sherpa catching area, it is not allowed to collect this wood. So you have to put this, you have to mention in your permission also. So now they mention it is not allowed to collect firewood from the which local people stopped area. So that means the national park did help for that also, but not like the Lapcha Nati and many different other things. And that is the we got help from the national park, and not documentally give big authority for the Nawa, but they do helping.
Yeah, so to my understanding, I think it's more at the discretion of the National Park Authority, and these Nawa systems are not actually coded or reflected in the management plans or any sort of policies, laws. It's just like a very discretionary practice which is going on, but not there isn't any sort of legal or a policy recognition from the Sagarmatha National Park or the National Park Department. And as Tenzing Tashi mentioned, that there are this whole Nawa system, D system is much more complex and diverse. They only kind of recognize at times the catching, the forest conservation practices, and maybe some of the forest Nawa. They're sort of providing some incentives, but it's a good positive step, but it's a very partial and a very sort of tokenistic, I would say. So there was this question around if there are any government sort of initiatives actually actively sort of supporting ICCs in the Khumbu, or this in relation to the Nawa system, if it is recognized by the Sagarmatha National Park authorities, how about various other ICCs or Khumbu ICCA? Is it actually recognized by the government formally? And so I think Tenzing Tashi kind of responded well to those questions. And there are other few questions that I think I could ask you, and I can sort of quickly translate. So नावालाई चाहिँ कसले चाहिँ जस्तो इलेक्ट गर्छ हैन, जस्तो अब भोटको तपाईहरुले चाहिँ गाउँले मिलेर गर्ने हो कि कसरी नावा चाहिँ हैन चुज हुन्छ भन्ने सोधेको छ हैन। अनि नावा, अनि अघि पनि तपाईले भने अलिअलि रेस्पोन्ड त गर्नु भइसक्यो, नावाको त कन्स्टिट्युसन छ तर स्टेट लले चाहिँ त्यसलाई रेकग्नाइज गरेको छैन। यो कुरालाई फेरि तपाईले क्ल्यारिफाई गरिदिनु होला। नावालाई कसले इलेक्ट गर्छ? अनि निमाको एउटा क्वेशन थियो, नावा भनेको खाली मेल मात्रै हो कि फिमेलहरु पनि हैन इलेक्ट हुन पाउँछ, यो सबै पुरुष मात्रै हो कि नावा भन्ने कुराहरु छ।
To do the Nawa selection, we do the Yultim. So Yultim is the Gram Sabha, Gaon Sabha, and so that means the community
village assembly
meeting, and we do these things, and there can be Nawa women or men, it doesn't matter, but we have to work as Nawa rule carefully. And आपको प्रश्न के थियो?
सरकारको नियम कानुन state
So
laws versus Nawa?
the Nawa is only the Khumjung Khunde above the Khumjung Khunde Porche Pangbuje areas, and there's no any government. They don't know about the the Nawa system, and also the one time the WWF, the people, they came here and we talked with them, and the WWF said, well, this if in Khumbu, if they have the Nawa system, and it is not important to be a national park here. So also the WWF, the people, when we are doing the discussion at that time, they said so. But to help and to recognize, no one is got help, and because also the before the Nawa system was Namche and Thame also, and it has been dissolved because there in Namche Bazaar there are so many government office and so many. I mean, the village is sort of a mixture, so they don't follow the Nawa D systems, and so that's why they did not care. They doesn't the how important is the Nawa, so they really don't know about. So the Nawa is the it is very important for the conservation. For example, if it is in Nepal, so it is very good. So the example like instead of to being the Rani Ban or community Ban or these sort of things. So the Nawa is Nawa, and Nawa can stop for the forests, manage for the forest, and Nawa can manage the grass cutting things. Nawa can manage the uh, grazing management systems. So it is very important. It is very good, and it is sort of I can say it's a very scientific system.
All right. So there was another question, just I think for the clarity in terms of the relationship or the interaction between the traditional customary institution and systems, like Kakshing, the Nawa system, and the modern institutions. And in this context, I think, to my understanding, the modern institutions would be the buffer zone user committee, which is it is important to clarify that all the buffer zone is kind of conventionally are the areas peripheral to the national park, but in the context of Khumbu, buffer zone could be outside the national park on the periphery, but also within the national park as an enclave sort of settlements. So the village, the Khumbu Valley, which is much larger than the actually Sagarmatha National Park and the buffer zone, but Khumjum and Khunde, where Tenzing Dai live, it is actually located within the national park, but recognized as under the jurisdiction of the buffer zone user committee. So I think there was again a bit of a question for you, Tenzing Dai.
Well,
The
buffer
relationship
zone.
between the buffer zone and your customary
So
practices.
uh, the the buffer zone, they don't have according to their constitution in the book, the buffer zone, they don't have any authority to the uh, doing this what the now is doing. So they can they have community development things and the fundraising things and tourism and how to bring tourism things and this sort of things is in the buffer zone. But Nawa has the many different things. They have the many authority and they are controlling many things. And the buffer zone is only the doing these things, and the buffer zone is the if the animal from the forest who harm their crop, then buffer zone will give some money for that the villages, and the use of the forest and use of the sand and rock and this sort of timber, and we have to pay something to the national park. So they are giving back some money. So this is the national park is saying 30 to 50% money is coming back to the community. So that is all, but that is the money is for the they are giving, they have a little portion of the money is for the conservation and conservation education things. That is all. And the buffer zone is for the 5 years, and Nawa is every 1 year we are changing the Nawas, and the buffer zone as 5 years. And when I was when we made the constitution in the buffer zone for the buffer zone, and I put Nawa in the constitution to recognize and to give some money. So I put these words in the constitution. It was my first time. This is the first time when we are making the constitution, and later on I couldn't see any constitution from the office. So maybe they hide the constitution, or they lost the constitution, or it is very interesting things. So if we could found the old constitution, then we can it is we have wrote a very good constitution for the buffer zone. But the Nawa, well, the Nawa system is it is well, the what I can say is for the Nawa, we don't need help from the government, and we don't need help from the national park, and we don't want to give our authority to the Nepal government or national park, because they can change anywhere, anytime, and also they can cancel it. So the Nawa system, which is our local system, so local constitution, we have a local constitution also. So this is very good. It long last. What I can say.
Thank you, Tenzing Tai. I have one more question, which I think I'll just read out, and if you're okay with that, I can translate that as well for you, Tenzing Tai. So, in your point of view, what do you think are the main threats to the continued, existence of these ICCAs, territories of life in Khumbu? Basically चुनौतीहरू, थ्रेटहरू के छ त हाम्रो खुम्बुको आइसिसीहरूको लागि? त्यो तपाईको चाहिँ पर्यावरणीय पनि हुन सक्छ, इकोलोजिकल, राजनीतिक, पोलिटिकल पनि हुन सक्छ, हैन? विभिन्न किसिमको थ्रेटहरू के छ त? तपाईले अब खुम्बु शेर्पा कल्चर कन्जर्भेसन सोसाइटीले धेरै काम त गरिरहेको छ, तर तपाईको विचारमा तपाईले देखेको थ्रेटहरू के छ त हाम्रो खुम्बु आइसिसीहरूको लागि?
अब यो ICCA is very good. First of all, ICCA Indigenous Community Conserved Area. So this is the word itself is very strong for the community conserve. So, but the main threat is, which is the indigenous is the very difficult word for the Nepal government itself, and the community conserve, the name of community conserve is not good hearing for the national park, because the national park don't want to say, oh, the forest and this area, the nature of this area is conserved by the Sherpa people. They are not happy to say this. This area is conserved by the Sagarmatha National Park, conserved. And the world people know this Khumbu area is conserved by the national park. But the people, they don't know the Sherpa has conserved the more than 1,000 years before. So that is the challenge of the understanding and the jealous between the officers, national park and government. So in the Nepal government, example in Kathmandu or Khumbu Valley or wherever. So if you say indigenous community conserved area, so this is not good word for them. Because why the indigenous came this word here. So only the problem is that. Otherwise, well, it is not big headache for them. And we are very interested to conserve these things. And well, we are very proud of we Sherpa culture done, and the Himalaya ranges people has conserved, and many the Nepali, the example like a Mandir area. So also the around the Mandir area is also conserved. The many forests I have seen. So this is well, but this they don't want to say this community. I mean the Adivasi Janjati. So
Sorry, I'm just trying to scroll if there are any more sort of questions. How are we doing in terms of time, Shruti?
We're very well within the time limit. So if there are maybe one or two questions, we can take those. If not,
Yeah, I
think
just have like
Ashish
one.
has just one
Yeah.
last.
Okay. Yeah, I think to just respond to Ashish's questions around the Demand for Forest Rights Act, which is, I think, pretty inspiring, and despite some certain challenges in recognizing the indigenous people's sort of occupation, relationship with the forest, and their sort of land tenure. Unfortunately, the only progressive policy that many of you are aware of in the context of Nepal is community forestry, which is basically for the forest areas outside the protected area systems that are being conserved and managed by local communities, and in some other instances by indigenous communities. So apart from that, given the current sort of discourse, even within the civil society, there's not much sort of push in terms of the indigenous sort of rights within the community forestry. Jailab might sort of respond to that briefly because his research is around indigenous people's rights and community forestry, which is considered as very progressive in terms of really recognizing the management and use rights, but not definitely the land tenure. But there are many occasions where it has actually impinged on the rights of some of the customary sort of resource use and governance rights of indigenous communities. So it's an interesting thing, but I just have to sort of acknowledge that unfortunately there is still a kind of a disconnect between the national movement of community forestry and the federation and some of these emerging networks around ICCs in Nepal. So I think there's an immense sort of opportunity to engage with the national federations like FECOFUN to be able to sort of really enhance some of these discourse around indigenous peoples, Adivasi sort of rights within a protected area regime and the forestry. Do you want to add anything, Tenzing Tashi and Jailab, to that one?
well, I like to say one thing. If we could find some good person which is who knows about the old leader, example, the young leader, they cannot understand the ICCA and the these things. And the ICCA is not only the English word, even in you go Nepali word, you can the Samrachit Kshetra, and also the Sherpa words also. And if we go to the Rolwaling, I'm very interested the Rolwaling and the Dolpo area. They have also many ICCAs things, and so we have to find out these things, and we have to recognize, and we have to give them education of their authority. So now the ICCA is not only the Khumbu area, not only in Nepal, in the world now the many of ICCA things. So we could if we could mix, if we could bring them together, it will be good.
Yeah. So just, yeah, there was a, okay, from Shail Shrestha is asking, अरू सांस्कृतिक ग्रुपहरू भनौँ न, अरू आदिवासी जनजाति अरू सङ्घ संस्थाहरू मुभमेन्टहरूसँग आइसिसी नेटवर्क नेपाल अथवा खुम्बु शेर्पा कल्चर कन्जर्भेसन सोसाइटीहरूको हैन सँगै मिलेर अलिकति क्याम्पेन गर्ने सरकारसँग त्यस्तो खालको भएको छ कि छैन भनेर सोधिरहनु भएको छ. I'm just reiterating the question by Shail Shrestha.
पहिला हामीले त अब त्यो हामी फरेस्ट एक्सनमा बसेर त त्यतिखेर त धेरै कोसिसहरू त गरेकै हो. अनि त्यो काठमाडौँको वरिपरिको के तौ दावादेखि लिएर त्यो अरू त इन्डिजिनियस मात्र त थिएन, त्यहाँनिर विभिन्न किसिमको पनि थियो र हामीले उनीहरूले पनि समेट्ने हिसाब पनि गरेको थियो. र अहिले अब त्यो अब वेल अलिकति पछाडि परे जस्तो के भयो, त्यो समथिङ प्रब्लम भयो नत्र पनि हामीले पनि गराएको त हो. यहाँ हाम्रो शेर्पा कल्चर कन्जर्भेसन सोसाइटीले त अब उता टाढा ठाउँमा त हामीले गर्ने कुरा भएन. र हामीले चाहिँ अब यो यता खुम्बु क्षेत्रमा त जति अब आफूले भ्याउने, आफ्नो क्षमताले भ्याउने गरिराखेको हो.
अरू जनजाति ग्रुपहरूसँग दाइहरूको केही डायलगहरू, उनीहरूसँग केही सहकार्य, कोलाबोरेसन
त्यस्तो भएको छैन. अब किनभने हाम्रो यहाँ हजुर
इङ्ग्लिसमै बोल्नु होला.
अब किनभने here is only all Sherpas only, and so we don't have the chance to talk the other people in other community. And so there are some few Rai people, and the Rai people, they have their own ICCA system, but they have a very strong nature puja and these things, but they are not really really close to the conserving things. They are very strong with their own puja, but not for the conserving things. And so we don't have the chance to talk these sort of things because we are very long way up.
So Jailab, would you like to respond to Nima's question? The assessments.
This is a bit complex questions that Nima is raising. Since there is no enough data regarding answering these questions. However, Nepal almost 50%, more than 50% of the territories are covered by the mountain regions, and these regions, these areas are the Sherpa and Tamang. Mostly, these are the historical settlers of this territory. So this is quite complicated questions and also very difficult to answer. But we, from the perspective of the ICCAs and our notions, our visions and our definitions, we claim that most of these territories should be the ICCAs. But coming back to many of the questions, still the country's constitutions, different forestry laws do not recognize the ICCs very clearly, only give some of the huge rights, but do not have the spaces for the policy recognitions, customary recognitions. That's why still we cannot say that how much areas are the ICCs, but a lot of hundreds of communities, territories are managed, governed by the local communities, and we can claim them as ICCs. So there are other more questions as well. I saw that how many ICCs, how many communities, whether they do have a kind of intercultural connections or not. So it has not happened yet. But we tried our best to connect the communities from different parts of the country, from the lower level to the lower parts of to the mountain eastern part to the western, but yet we have to make it more materialized. We have to make it more more very more dialogic. Still we have to do it, but we are in the process anyway. So finally, I think this is time to close the session. So I would like to thank especially Tenzing Tashi, who is speaking from the very lap of the Mount Everest, the highest peak of the world, a very cold place. You can notice that he is wearing his very warm hat on his head because of the cold place. So very thanks. I would like to thank Tenzing Tashi for making a very wonderful presentation to make the audience, make the participants listen and enjoy. And also would like to thank the Kalpabriksha whole entire team who are technically supporting, facilitating the whole this webinar, and also Holly just left the group. Also thank Holly and other colleagues who are technically arranging, managing, and supporting this webinar. So I think there are a lot of questions to answer, but it's not time to answer and not possible to answer all the questions. So I, from Nepal, the entire team and the youths, many youths are also participating in this event. So I'd like to thank all the participants from Nepal, as a ICCA, Nepal's ICCC consortium's contact persons from Nepal. So thank you, Sudeep, for also facilitating the very good facilitation of the all this webinar. Thank you. Thank you.
Should I hand over back to you, Shruti, for any closing?
Yes, I think Jayla did the thanking part, but thank you all of you for giving us time. Thank you, Jayla, Sudeep, Tenzing Dai, and all the participants who sat through this amazing session. And we have the next one, which is going to be on. Can I also announce this now?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
the next webinar will be on the 8th of December, and it will be on Khumbu Valley, which is I think Tenzing Dai also mentioned, and Nima Ji, who is also there, who is also part of this webinar, who will be also, along with Jailab and few others, presenting the case of Khumbu Valley. So please do join us. And if you can all switch on your videos for once, we could take a group photo and wave. And we can further. Thank you, and we're done. So thank you so much. I will see you guys next on the 8th. I would want Ashish, Nima, Stan, Sudeep, Jalab, Tenzing Tai to stay put while the others can leave. So thank you so much.